Respectively, they're the ones who's gonna use that Roger on Benny Cutie and hate on that Harith. Now, why did they go for Sagitnu here on the Thams? Because they know that Thams, as long as Thams can scale in terms of XP, he does not need much of those items.
Yes.
As long as he can get the Cotorant Inferno off, you get a certain amount of, how do you say this, tankiness that will be enough for the damage output that Cignal Ultra could do. Now, onto the side of Cignal Ultra, they're still aiming to take this to a very late game.
Yes, I totally agree with going into the late game, but somehow scaling wise, I mean early to mid game, I guess Execration has the upper hand. They still have this Selena, been doing really great for Etomax. Harriet, on the other hand, is gonna be getting hard time once again, getting its buff. But there's something to note here. I mean, was aiming that Ima DJ will be the one to use the Natalia, just poking around, but it's gonna be Chojin. So meaning to say, it's gonna be a core Natalia.
It is going to be a core Natalia, and that is actually in a way noticeable here for the side of Cignal Ultra. It was their first 3 picks. Now, if you would look at the things that the Natalia could do, like clearly in terms of just securing the early map control, you cannot do that because they have the Selena on the other side. So having that roaming potential at level 1 is limited already by that certain abyssal traps that could be done by a Selena. Now, what did they do? They just adjusted on the fly and they just put Sujin onto that Natalia. Don't really know if he's that comfortable with it. I've seen him play that once or twice. What's your take on this?
I really like your point on abyssal trap because it's gonna spot out. I mean, if the Natalia could be able not to see that there's a trap under the bushes, definitely it's gonna be revealed, and the flank or the gank that's about to do will gonna be. I mean, it's not gonna push through. But well, I was even thinking of how gonna be the lanes will be, but I guess the Natalia will be the one to do the mid lane. If the YSS will choose to go on the gold lane, but he has the one with the retribution, so I guess YSS would be going in mid lane. I'm not really sure. I didn't see how it actually went through on the early stages. I just want to see it. But yes, the YSS still gonna be on the mid lane. So they just giving Ima DJ just circling it out on the XP lane. Or rather, was that the XP lane on the bottom lane? Yeah.
And they are still
so
gonna
he
go
gets level 4 faster.
I think Chujin is still one of their proficient Natalia players. So they could just give out that offlane Angela. We've seen that time and again. And now it does make sense to put the Esmeralda and the Natalia into one lane. Like clearly right now you don't really have the lockdown potential from these two. But in terms of damage, as long as Natalia can just go in, they won't really have as much problem as the other guys. But you know what? For the side of Cignal Ultra, they're happy with their draft. They really look like they know how to run this, and we've seen them get creative and get crazy with these certain picks that come out from them. For Execration, what do you think is the saving grace for them in game number 2?
I think the Roger must really step up in here. I mean, Hate still gonna have the same fate that he has. Hate with Fate. I don't know if that works, but I mean, he's not be the one to be getting here the buffs, and it's gonna be Chojin just poking around. And what's really gonna be giving Execration a hard time on the early game was that if then Angela was on the XP lane, is gonna go level 4 fast, and the Natalia with the Angela combination will definitely get one turret for Execration. But I guess what Execration needs right now is just to hold it going into the mid game. Their win condition definitely goes on the mid game to late game.
Yeah, and as you can see, there are 2 retributions here onto the side of Execration.
Oh yeah,
there are 2 retributions here. So remember,
see that. Yeah, 2 retribution. They do have one for Benny Cutie and as well with, and that's, well, you could put it in a way that they might have a slight advantage in terms of a bigger objective like Lords and Turtle, but a steal, not something we see. I mean, you've been the one to just invading my buff, and they're getting the purple buff for Cignal Ultra. Meanwhile, there's one dead. I guess Execration.
Yeah, and it's a death that it's a death that's very costly for the side of Cignal Ultra. Even though that they want to take this to super late game, you cannot give Execration the extra gold that they need to get to that power spike that they want. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we do have their event, Trickster's Village event. Get Halloween candies for treasure spin. Each spin will cost 4 Halloween candies, and you can get up to 7 each day. And with 10 spins, Rob, you can get guaranteed that there is a special skin Hammer Giant.
Yes, a very, very good skin here. A special skin, rather. But what's very special is that Hate is really doing well on early game. He's been able to kill the Natalia onto the top lane. Well, now it looks like that Execration is on a better position compared to what they had earlier. It's just this Natalia is not really working for them. Look at that, the Salmon Force, but the ejector for Hate, he might actually go down.
Oh, that was a heads-up play for Bensanity. Arrow won't connect Etomax here. He's not having fun with this.
Yes, and what's interesting is that Chujin did live on that skirmish, but into the top lane, look at that. The Falling Star Moon will be hitting Benny Cutie. Just going out. So, it looked like this. Cignal Ultra been, well, I guess they still can hold it on, but they really need those skills coming from Chujin. I mean, this draft is meant to kill heroes on the early game. If that's what Hades can be able to do that, Chujin, it's gonna be taking Hades a hard time scaling, because it's gonna lessen its map control. And look at this, Execration just going into their purple buff.
And we do have our fight here. Hades here is their target. Heartguard is there. Hades, will he fight? Imba DJ here went out, and he wants to deal as much damage as possible. And another invade failing here onto the side of Execration, but Cignal Ultra, they want more. Arrow will connect, but it connects to the wrong person. Chujin here will go down. There is a Gitlu trying to go for Rhea. Rhea here, will he get hit with the Abyssal Arrow? No, he won't. Benny Cutie with that secure, but Cignal Ultra, they don't care about that. And Rhea here will go down. Bensanity is the next target, and he will go down as well. But the turtle went to the side of Cignal Ultra.
Yes, they shouldn't have chased that. I mean, the Wisest and as well with the Angela just went through the trail, and after the kill, probably the first kill or the execute coming from Chujin, they just have to back away.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yes, they did kill someone there, but they totally got wiped out. I mean, there are just 3 members there, and this is a slight miscommunication coming from Cignal Ultra.
The nature of the lineup here for the side of Execration, Rob, is, as you can see, you need to get the early objectives just to have a better spike. But then again, for the side of Cignal Ultra, what they're doing here is they're not really fighting it as much as possible.
Yeah.
They're not going for the fights. It's all about Execration just forcing them to be taken down.
Yes.
And if you think about it, that is actually a very smart move for Cignal Ultra, because you went straight for the turtle. That could have given a lot of advantage for the side of Execration, and while everything was happening, you just went straight for one of their objectives, and you denied it.
Yes, denied, but Rhea will not actually live there. But Hate, which actually go, Ejector was still not available for Bensanity. And Chaknu been tanking both of the hero, or rather 3. It's actually gonna go down here, Buffers.
And the armor coming out from the Heartguard isn't enough. Was it a bit too late? I think
it is.
It was late.
It was indeed late. Now, it looked like Execration is back on the one to hold the tempo here for this second game. Bensanity, not something we see like what he did on the first game, but still doing okay. But Arrow from Etomax will hit. And now, so we're here going towards the mid game. So what's gonna be whose win condition? And well, just to rub it in, it's that Benny Cutie is actually unspoiled, or rather is not being touched for like less than 5 minutes here in the game. And I guess he's been scaling way too much.
Yeah. And speaking of scaling way too much, that is one thing that Sujin cannot do. There's a lot of pressure going onto the side of Sujin, and right now Execration gets that turtle. At least they have an answer. Roger will go down, and there is a lot more emphasis into the getting the objectives for the side of Execration. Why? They have 2 retributions.
Yes, they do have 2 retribution, and Windtalker has been already available for the Roger, and that means he could be able to clear waves, he could be able to deal damage as well, and it's gonna be probably a good snowball for Execration from this point onwards. Now, but Bensanity is still doing great with its ejector. Will they be able to bring down Cignal? They're not going to be chasing in, and they do know that Hate is just waiting around the bush.
Yeah, that is a great move from Cignal Ultra. They did not really force things out, but I speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They got
someone
impatient.
forced it.
Yes, Shojin got impatient, and I really like how Hate anticipated that one. And now Cignal just rolling here, getting out, but still gonna live there, ladies and gentlemen. But now Execration, they're been the one to commanding here for the side of Cignal Ultra. Will they be able to take this tower? Zamanfor was down, and yes, oh my god, it's like Execration been fueled up what they did on the first game. It's totally different right now.
It is totally different, but as you can see, Etomax and the others, they're using those brushes to their advantage. They're not really letting Imba DJ and the others control that, and they've been getting a lot of these pickups just going for those death brushes. Now, Bensanity here is the next target by onto the side of Execration, and Execration will take him down. Chujin going 1v1 against the Roger. Well, 1v1 against Benny Cutie. But Benny Cutie can only do so much against a Natalia.
Yes, and the Lycan Pounce will actually save Benny Cutie.
He actually dodges.
He did. And Cignal was just right on time to show off the rest of Cignal Ultra. Meanwhile, Chujin dying onto the bottom lane. Rhea still not capable to bring down another. But it's still not going to be enough. Hades will be taken down. And another one. Cignal. I guess Cignal Ultra did one there, but they are losing their bottom lane.
They lost their bottom lane. Angela wasn't there. Bensanity, his unstoppable force, got dodged by Benny Cutie.
Yes.
That Lycan Pounce was perfectly timed. Didn't hit him. That could have been the damage that they needed. But onto the top lane, at least Hades made things count for his team.
Yes, and the Gillette instant replay here just showing us what just happened. Hashtag save the day. Look at here. I mean, Benny Cutie been dodging left and right, but Hades will still be enough to be able to bring him down. Another kill on the top lane. But the difference between that 2 kills is 2 turrets down for the side of Cignal Ultra. Now, I'm really concerned on Cignal Ultra on being able to tank, specifically on the late game. Because Bensanity is nowhere to do that right now, because the damage from Benny Cutie, damage from Hate, even Saget Nu is providing damage right now because he has been going for like a attack damage. He has endless battle right now, and will they be able to bring
and Benny
down?
Cutie,
Like
he
a pounce?
is the target here for Bensanity. Bensanity doesn't have the unstoppable force. Benny Cutie does have the damage to take that Jawhead down. Hades here with a collapse, and that is a perfect execution in terms of pick-off. Execration, they got what they wanted. Onto the top lane, there is a push happening, but doesn't matter as Rhea is forced to go back. And that is Execration marching on with just one mistake. Things are about to go to Execration side.
Yes, that was very costly pickup that they did there. I mean, they could be able to pull it off, but it's just right. Cignal was just right in time to cut the reinforcement coming from Hades, and just leaving Bensanity after the ejector that he did on Benny Cutie. But yeah, that was very costly for them, losing their base turret on the bottom lane.
And as you can see, Angela is just staying onto the side lane because the Heart Guard can be popped anytime, and it still would be a 5v5. Shojin, however, getting spotted. I like how aggressive Execration is, even though this is a Natalia. I like the fact that they contest every bush in the game. because they know Natalia will come there, will come from there.
Yes, and the mid turret here for Execration is really giving Cignal Ultra a very, I think they might be on the lower end for the side of the team fight because, I mean, Execration still has their own mid turret while the Lord is still up. So besides that, they do have here 2 Retribution to somehow give them a higher chance to be able to last hit the Lord, but a team fight might actually happen here.
Hades almost getting hit, and Sujin here almost always spotted out by the side of Execration. Can he get out? Can he get out? Yes, he will. No, he won't. He gets tagged by that Synchro Vision, and he goes down.
He really did go down. I was looking at Hate that one. He actually thought he has the Cyclone Eye, and that's the reason why he actually used the Synchro Vision. But regardless, the Lord will be taken here down by Execration. Arrow will connect Ben's Sanity here, ladies and gentlemen. And now, Execration, a very commanding lead here going into the late game.
And this is how you do it, Execration. They are gonna take this 1-1 if the pressure doesn't stop onto their side. Lord is gonna go down to bot. That is a good path for them in terms of, you know, just meeting that Lord in that certain area, because if it goes to mid, that means it takes a shorter time for the Lord to get there. But onto the bottom lane, they can plan it a bit. They can just, you know, contemplate if they are gonna go bot, mid, or top.
Yes, bot, mid, and top, but here the Revitalize will just save Shaq too. Ben's Sanity is already been down, going in. Zaman, of course, is still dealing a lot of damage. Shojin is going down as well, but Benny Cutie will be the casualty for Execration, but still the Lord is still up. Here, Butter, Sinis who's winning. Looks like Execration been taking tower after tower here for a Cignal Ultra.
And Hades here going straight for that siege minion, and right now the Lord is gonna go down. Execration here happy with what they've achieved there. They take down the mid lane turret, and right now they want more onto the top lane.
Yes, well, this is a very disciplined Execration. They don't want to take too much of what they had. They are on the lead and they don't want to lose it. But that ejector, it started it all. I mean, Chaknu was the only ones available since basically he's on the front line. But he is not someone you wouldn't want inside your base, because regardless what happened, he's this Revitalize, he has this ultimate, and everything is just goes nuts for the side of Cignal Ultra, and they don't have the burst damage that they need to bring down the Basha.
Immortality is onto the side of Bensanity. It rhymes.
It
actually.
really rhymes.
Well, actually rhymes as well.
I like how you did it.
You know what? Execration, they're really looking good right now. Endless Battle, Queen's Wings, and a Molten Core or Molten Heart onto the side here on Sagitnu. I like how they are actually getting those casual stuff, but it's probably gonna go for that cursed helmet. Benny Cutie, the Natalia pick, it doesn't really work for Execration.
Yes.
The amount of time that Natalia has been seen into the map, you really have to give that a lot of credit on the side of Execration, because some of the teams really are afraid when the Natalia, they don't see the Natalia on the map. But Execration, they can almost pinpoint every single time where the Natalia is at certain points of the game. Hades here is not gonna go down, but that doesn't matter as we head on to game number 3. It's going to be a 1-1 for the side of Execration, and man oh man, we expected this already.
Yes, we did expect this, that this gonna go down.